All right, Bill, I'm turning it over to you.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you all
Meredith.
for being on.
All right. Very much so. Thank you,
I'll be
everybody.
right back.
Yes, absolutely. So how we doing there, professionals? How's first of all, happy holiday season to you. You're kicking into your high season, obviously. So timing might not be the greatest, but we'll chew away at it, and we'll get to the next level certainly. And I'm here to assist you. I recently had an opportunity to move to Texas. Our education department has moved to Frisco, Texas, and but due to my core values, my family, my father-in-law is a PJ Life member. He needs a little bit of attention. So I've elected not to do it. So I've talked to the section and says, I've helped with the curriculum. I've helped with the rollout of the 3.0, with the exams and everything else. So, hey, can I give a couple hours a week to our future members? So that's where this all came about. So again, welcome everybody, and let's make this really casual. Any questions you have along the way, just shout at me. But the whole idea behind this is really to answer any questions that you have. I thought what we do is really spend some time on the portfolio. I think that'd be really important. I've seen thousands of them, and I'll kind of share with you the areas where we see that's been the weakest trends along the way, along with preparing you for the exam. What's the best way to prepare you for the exam so you can succeed to the next level? I think that'd be a really good way to really attack this and go from there. So, but before we do that, what's your status, professionals, as far as have any of you been to a seminar yet? Are you planning to come to a seminar? Tell me where you all are, if you don't mind.
John Dunlap at Normandy Shores, where I'm at. Whenever I went through the program, I was the third assistant, and we had 3 assistants and 1 head pro. And after about 2 months of me completing the program, the other 2 left. So I've basically been the first assistant since then with no additional help. So for me, I'm doing all the work. I'm instructing. I'm getting all the work done. But I just working so many hours, I'm just having a hard time getting it into the portfolio itself. So I just have to make some time to get it done.
Absolutely, John. And that's they really smashed you pretty hard, didn't they? Jeez.
Well,
the good thing about it, you take your time. I mean, it's hard timing. It's just never a good time. And certainly now we're in the end of this middle of December, and I understand where we all are as far as your status is concerned. I mean, it's gear up time. In 30 days, you all are going to be going nuts, man, if you're not already. So, I think the main thing today is let's kind of get our feeling in the areas where we feel like we're weak and certainly help you from there. But thanks for sharing that for sure, John. So you've been to a seminar. So we're working on your portfolio. You just haven't put it into the system yet. Okay, cool. We'll go over all the portfolio activities. I think that'd be a really good thing to do. How about you, Royce?
Hey guys, I'm Royce Hunsberger. I'm the assistant pro at the Biltmore in Coral Gables. I've been to a virtual seminar online. I have 4 sections left on the portfolio, which is the business planning, the rules of golf, teaching and coaching, and player development. So I'm just working on that right now. But as John stated, we just had our club championship. I'm kind of busy and tight with hours. I'm the only assistant pro kind of running these tournaments. And I also just got word that I'm going to be running the Biltmore Women's Golf Association every Tuesday morning. So there's just a lot on my plate. I have 4 sections left. Like I was saying, I just kind of got to finish them, and I'm in the process of that.
Okay, sure. Absolutely. And please reach out. And what we'll do is we'll go over all the activities today, the portfolio activities, certainly give you the best ammunition to prepare for the exam. And I think you'll feel really, really comfortable at the end of the session for sure.
Thank you.
How about yourself? First of all, hey, Marty, how are you? Good to see you. And Kathy? How's everybody else? Sawyer, how about yourself? What's your status?
Plugging along. I did a seasonal job up north, so just going from season to season, it's been a little hard to apply myself with it. But I'm I'm getting some of the work done slowly.
Okay, great. Shane, how about yourself?
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I've completed a couple assignments. Like you said, we are starting to get a little busier at work. I'm at Golf Tech in Palm Beach Gardens, so it's really been my first full year of teaching. So that's been a huge change, just trying to find time to do everything. But I'm plugging along as well.
Good. Good to hear that. How about you, Steve?
You're on mute, Steve.
There's a mute button, unmuted.
Yeah, I got it there. Sorry, I just got a call. I'm not certain where we stand. I apologize.
You got it. Just want to ask you your status. Have you been to a seminar? Have you attempted your work experience portfolio?
I'm a PGA member at this time.
Oh,
He's one of our mentors, though.
so I see that now. Sorry, I appreciate that.
Yep, quite all right.
I think I need to put my specs on. Oh, now I know. Now I see you now. Cool.
Steve, you're welcome to start over if you'd like.
Yeah. I'll get on another foot here shortly. I apologize, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go through the work experience. So it sounds like all the professionals on this call have been to a seminar. Is that correct? Anyone not been to a seminar, level 1 seminar? Cool. So you've done your seminar. Has any of you had me at level 1? Do you remember? Have you?
Yeah.
Royce, thanks for showing back up. I didn't frighten you too badly.
No, it's a good time.
No, it was excellent.
Learned a lot.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Kathy, good to see you. I hope everything's well in your department. I know it is, and you guys are rocking the house for sure.
Busy.
Yeah, Marty, you at Florida Gulf Coast are just, you're hear some great things. So keep it going.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, it's a great program. Okay, so let's go ahead, and what I want to do first is kind of go through the activities from 30,000 feet above, and please just say, hey, Bill, let me ask you a question about that activity. I'm struggling with it. So we'll go through all the activities quickly in a PowerPoint. Then I'll actually pull up the activity portfolio, and we'll kind of look at that. And I think between those two, and then the activity worksheets that we've done in class, that's going to also help you from there. So the exam preparation is the portfolio is an important component to it because a lot of the curriculum and the takeaways and the learning outcomes come from the course manual. Every question in the exam comes from the course manual via learning outcomes. And a lot of the portfolio that we design ties in with that. So the portfolio is an important part of the overall preparation. What we see is if we see a really solid portfolio, it's a pretty good chance you're in pretty good shape as far as succeeding to the next level. So let's go ahead and let me get started with. I'm going to go ahead and present here, and I'm going to share. The first thing I want to do is I want to start off with this activity right here. Can everybody see that okay? Everybody see it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So here's the work experience activities. So in the business planning, there's 5 activities, okay? All those activities are based off of the case study facilities, i.e. the public course being Crescent Ridge, the private course being Summit Valley. So all your activities in business planning are based off of the case study facility. So you really want to make sure you feel really comfortable about that facility. Almost put your mindset into it that I am the new golf professional at this particular facility. And we'll go over each of those in the work activity sheet in just a bit. So the first 5 activities, defining the business. What business are you in? We're going to assess the current state of the business by conducting a SWOT analysis, which means where are you strong, where are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, and what are your threats. And then from there, we're going to start planning. We're going to develop some annual objectives and strategies on how to accomplish those objectives. Then we plug all that into the financial worksheets, And then finally, we're going to monitor our performance. We're going to pay attention to our business. Okay. Next activities is customer relations. Here it's at your own. Here it is at your own facility. So activity 1 is moments of truths at a facility. It could be your facility or it could be one of your colleagues' facilities. But what we're looking for there is interactions. Are they non-interactive or interactive? Are they tied in with the person or non-person? Are they positive or negative? So for an example, a moment of truth would be pulling into a parking lot. Is the parking lot clean? Is the parking lot dirty? Is the signage look like it's been there for 100 years? So these are all moments of truth touch points. And that can either be positive or negative, and it can either be with or without an employee. So obviously the parking lot example would be a non-interactive. If it's a clean parking lot, it's positive. If it's a dirty parking lot, it's negative. Now you go to a starter. Your starter's grumpy. Looks like she's been out all night. So that's a negative interaction. Okay, that's a negative interaction. And then we kind of look at it and we say, what's causing that? What's causing the positive or the negative interaction? Is it staffing, systems, or resources? So we'll talk a lot about that. And then activity 2 is basically terminology. It's that sheet where we talk about the different strategies, directing strategies, stating your purpose clearly, what's your interpersonal skills. So that's basically just really, you all do this so well because you're in a people business. But this basically just talks more about the actual language itself. And we'll kind of go over that. Activity 3, tell us about your facility. Tell us about your golf car fleet management at your facility. Analyze your policies, your procedures, along with financial performance. So again, you're talking about your facility. We get into the rules of golf. That's a really cool activity. There you get.
I'm having trouble with the financial summary on the golf cart fleet, though.
Are you? Okay. So what we need to do there is do you have an accountant in your facility?
I do, but I'm not really getting directed in the right place because I need to figure out the recharging, the indirect labors, the miscellaneous. I just don't know that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, we can give you some really good examples right there, but I would definitely suggest you call the mentor line and talk to one of the staff members there, and they'll pull it up for you really easily.
All right, sorry to barge in. I just was
no. There's no such thing as barging in. Okay, so just shoot it out, man. You don't have to wait a second to hold your questions. I don't lose my concentration because I've been doing this for a long time. So absolutely. So they'll give you some really good examples on the mentor line if you don't have that. Like what's the average cost to charge a golf car in a monthly time? So they'll give you all that stuff. So please reach out, okay? For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. The rules, really cool. There you get an opportunity to video yourself. Go on a golf course and do a 1-minute video, 1.5 minute video about a rule. Whether it's the penalty area, whether it's OB, whatever you feel like you want to share with the group is a really neat activity. And then you explain the actual rule in detail. So that's kind of a new addition, and it's really an exciting area that we enjoy as a staff member. And then tournament operations, it's a tournament that you're hosting in the future, or you've already hosted it. But if you already hosted it, it's okay, as long as you have all the documents required, everything from rule sheets to whole location sheets to any special events. So a lot of detail. But here, what you're doing is 4 activities. You're going to plan and prepare for the tournament. You're going to actually run the tournament. Then you're going to the conditions of play and any rules decisions that you had within that tournament. And then you're going to go ahead and evaluate it and review it. What have you done really well? What can you do the following time to make it even better? So again, tournament operations, really good, detailed activity. Again, a tournament that you actually ran. Those of you who are working, I believe we have a professional that works at Golf Tech. So what you need to do there is you just need to go to another facility and go to an event. Maybe they're having an 830 shotgun down the road. Just sit through it and go through it all and be part of it, and make sure you fulfill all the documents that are required. Okay. We get into career enhancement. Kind of a fun deal, and certainly we have Kathy Grayson on the line today, and she's our expert in the section, certainly when it comes to enhancing your brand and who you are and your future. So the career enhancement piece is just it's all about you. First thing you want to do is you want to interview a supervising professional. So you got a director of golf, you got a GM, you got a head professional. Interview that person and find out about how that person got there. What are the challenges? What type of suggestions or recommendations do they have to really elevate yourself and elevate your brand? So again, you're level 1 professionals. You have an opportunity to really separate yourself. And I really believe that sincerely, to put yourself in that 10% club. And this is a really good area to really talk about you and what are you good at? And then from there, you're going to actually refine a personal development summary and lay out a goal on paper of what you want to be. Where are you going to be next month? Where are you going to be at the end of this season? Where are you going to be at the end of next summer? And really kind of lay it out. You're creating a business plan for your career. That's basically what it is. And then finally, you're going to update and submit a current resume. Do a nice job with that. We see a lot of really, really poor resumes. And I know Kathy has worked so hard with the professionals in the section on resume writing. She's one of the best in the country. So again, just do a really nice job with that. So there's a snapshot of your activities in facility management. As far as the teaching and coaching side of it, I suggest that you just reach out to Kevin Compare on the mentor line. Kevin's a dear friend. Kevin knows that we're doing this on a section level, and he wishes he could have the time and resources to do it. But just call the mentor line at 866-866-3382, 866-866-3382, extension 6. And any questions you have on a teaching and coaching, just ask for Kevin Compare. He'd be honored and delighted to help you out, okay? Anybody can help you out, certainly. But Kevin, I think you can create a really nice relationship with Kevin and feel very, very comfortable. So there's the activities for there. So now what I like to do is pull up the activity worksheet that we've done in class. And I think this will be really, really helpful for you when it comes to giving you some really good ammunition and some encouragement and forwardness with your work experience portfolio. So I'm just going to highlight some of the activities to help you. So one of the activities in the portfolio is define your business. Well, here it is. Here's some examples right here. What is a core business area? A core business area will be a revenue generator. It would be such things as rounds and merchandise and player development and instruction and golf cart fleet and practice and leagues and membership and on and on and on. So again, this is a really good. So what business are you in? That's what we're looking for right here. What are your core business areas of your case study facility? Okay. When we have SV after it, that means Summit Valley. Obviously, there's no membership at Crescent Ridge, the public facility, but it is at Summit Valley. So just remember, professionals, that the number 1 revenue producer at Crescent Ridge, the public facility, is rounds. Number 2 revenue producers, rounds. Number 3 revenue producers, rounds. And on the private side, what is it? We all know what it is. It's membership, right? Membership dues, membership dues, membership dues. So you want to really emphasize on that. And then who's your current customer? So again, really understanding your case study. Who are your current customers? Who are you catering to? What are they expecting at your facility? If you recall, Summit Valley does a really nice job. It's a private club, equity owned. The members are really enjoying the facility, where the Crescent Ridge is more of a, they're hurting a little bit. The culture's down. The motivation's not there. They don't have that loving internal culture going on right now. So again, areas there where you can get in there and really turn it around and understanding who your customers are. And then who's your potential customer? So again, you all know who your current customer is at your facility where you're employed, certainly. Who's your potential customer? And again, this is case study, Summit Valley or Crescent Ridge. So if we define our potential customers, who are they? Well, if you remember from class, there's a lot of younger families moving into the area. There's a lot of business owners. There's a lot of females. There's a lot of families. There's a lot of opportunities at the private facility to convert those socials to equity members. Only 50% of the homeowners in that community are members at Summit Valley. So again, there's opportunities there. As a former general manager, my eyes get pretty big when I kind of see a new, younger breed coming in, a lot of families coming in, a lot of opportunities to convert maybe some of those socials into equity. They're younger, they're more energetic, they're family oriented. So you can do a lot of really, really, really neat things. There's a brand new 400 unit housing community that they just built. I mean, how popular would that be potentially for a potential customer? Future. There's 2 manufacturer plants in town, if you remember. I mean, to me, that's an opportunity to create leads. That's an opportunity to create some really, really neat stuff. And of course, you have your high school teams, your schools, your section events, your PJ Junior League, drive, chip, and putt, all those other great things that can be potentially beneficial to you. So just kind of a snapshot right there. So again, helping you with that. And then as far as a profile is concerned, what is Crescent Ridge? What is it? What is Summit Valley? And it's just some examples right here. If you remember, more you know about your case study facilities, much more beneficial it'll be for you. It's a good golf course, Crescent Ridge. It's public. They just put in $2 million 5 years ago. They got 60 golf cars. Pricing, as you see right there, $50, $36 on the weekdays. They got a brand new irrigation system. But they're only doing 26,200. They only did 26,250 rounds last year. The other facilities in that area are doing 40,000 public. Another municipal course doing 55,000, and another public course doing 40. And you're only doing 26. So myself as a GM is going to say, what's going on, bro? You're 14,000 rounds less than your competition in that area. What's wrong? Well, we know what's wrong. Beat it up. The golf course is deteriorating. The culture internally is not there. It's not a welcoming, friendly atmosphere. The merchandise looks like it's been there for 600 years. It just has a lot. Golf cars are at the end of the 5-year lease. Looks like they've been around for 12 years. So there's a lot of things you can do at Crescent Ridge to really rock the house and turn it around. Where Summit Valley, it's the only private club in the area. They put in $8 million upgrades. It's a $40,000 initiation fee. So the challenge with Summit Valley is maintaining that integrity, but the membership's been kind of like the same. They've been losing a few percentage each year, but gaining a few new members. So the membership hasn't spiked upward. So the main thing there is to really concentrate on retention, retaining those members and trying to capture some of that new family coming in. So that's basically Summit Valley and Crescent Ridge. So again, more you know about it, kind of giving you a good little highlight from above. So as far as the market's concerned, if you remember, it's a 500,000 population. The market in that area is middle to high income. They play year round. It's very similar to our target here in South Florida. High season in the wintertime, shoulder and summer. And there's a couple manufacturer plants. There's a retail store that just shut down. That would open my eyes quite a bit for merchandising opportunities. The average home price is $370,000. There's a 400-unit housing development that I just spoke about shortly, and it has a really strong local economy right now. So it's great opportunities in the market for sure. And then what about your competition? You got 5 courses in the area. So your direct competition is the 4 other golf courses. And the indirect competition would be like other recreational activities, like museums and lakes and hiking. An example for us in South Florida in indirect competition would probably be fishing and boating. That always comes to my mind pretty quickly. And then cooperative would be, they do share the market study, which is great among their facilities. So again, any questions so far? Again, this is just preparing you to really do a solid job and refresh your memory on what was going on in the seminars, okay? So core values, again, what are your beliefs? What are your core beliefs? And again, some words here you can use in Crescent Ridge. It's a fun place, isn't it? It's affordable. It's value. It's teamwork. It's excellent. It's pride. We're on the Summit Valley side, the private side. It's more tradition, more history, more community, excellent premier memories. It's friendly relationships, things like that. So core values are basically your beliefs and and go from there. So, and then as far as the vision is concerned, if you remember vision statement, what is a vision statement? It's where you're going to be. It's 2022 right now. So where are you going to be in 2027? Where are you going to be in 2028? So to be, not current, but reaching out. I've always felt that the CEOs of major corporations should be called CEO be a visionary CEO. They're the ones that Seth Waugh, our CEO of PGA of America, can see so far ahead of what the game of golf is going to look like in 2030. I mean, we want it to look like the world, and things that we've done over the last 5 years or 10 years within the PGA of America has been working towards that vision. So again, the good way to start a vision would be to be. Again, you're out in the future, just like yourself. What would be your vision? Your vision is to become a head golf professional. And then that's going to take you some time. How are you going to get there? So it's the same thing in the business, okay? So the thing to remember in vision is you're reaching out 5+ years out and you're working your way towards that to be. Is a good way to really start a vision. Where a mission is more about why you exist today. What's your mission today? Our mission at PGA of America is to serve the members and grow the game. So every decision we make at PGA of America, if it doesn't serve the member or the associate or the PGA Management University student, don't even talk about it. And if it doesn't move the needle and grow the game, don't even talk about it. So mission is basically why you exist today. So just make sure you understand the difference in those two, because you might need to know that between mission and vision. Any questions on those two? Great. Linear trend, and I'm going to pull up a financial spreadsheet here in just a bit. Linear trend is basically a tedious calculation. It gives you historical data on how the club's been performing over the last 5 years. So it's just giving you some history to help you formulate an action plan. So if you're looking at over the last 5 years, how's rounds been doing? How's memberships been doing? How's teaching been doing? How's merchandise been doing? So it kind of gives you a historical data. So the thing to just remember here is this formula right here, okay? And that's the linear trend. It's called linear trend analysis. We got a lot of questions on a mentor line on this, but again, it's just understanding the formula. And I'll show you where those numbers go as we pull up the financials, linear trend analysis. And a SWOT analysis would be: where are you strong? What are your strengths? Where are your positives? And what are your weaknesses? So the idea, in my eyes, as a former director of golf and general manager most of my career, has been, professionals, let's maintain those strengths. We're strong. Let's keep it there. The weaknesses, let's move those weaknesses into strengths. How long is it going to take to move those weaknesses into strengths? These are two areas where we call internal factors. You control your strengths and you control your weaknesses. So you may be weak in, there's a decline in member tournaments at the private club, for instance, at Summit Valley. Why is that? That's where I'd ask you, is there a possibility? Is it the wrong day? Is it the wrong formula? Is it the wrong price? What's wrong? Why is the member tournaments declining? Something's wrong. The lack of tournament response at the public facility. What's going on there? So these are areas where you can actually control them and hopefully move those weaknesses up to a strength. So these are internal. Strengths and weaknesses are internal, where opportunities and threats are external. You can't control them, but they're on your radar. For instance, there's a retail store that just closed in town. That would be an opportunity to enhance merchandise sales, even though you can't guarantee it. But you know what? It's pretty good, isn't it? You got a 500,000 people population in that area. Pretty exciting. The new housing development, new manufacturer plants. These are all great things. You know, it'd be a really good opportunity example for us in South Florida. Spring training baseball. The hotels, the restaurants, the car dealers, they all look at that as an opportunity. They don't have control, but they know that there's a lot of people coming down to watch Major League Baseball in the springtime. So they spike up and they gear up for it. So that would be a really good example of an opportunity that we live with each and every day. And then what are threats? You know, online shopping maybe? Obviously always weather. How about golf course pest, water, lack of water conditionings, you know, things like that, time, competition from other golf courses, other things going on. I mean, it's only 24 hours in a day, and it seems like people are just a lot busier, and they just can't even find an hour of their own time. So again, what are we doing about that? So just things that would bother you as threats. So that's a SWOT analysis. Okay, where are you strong and what are your weaknesses? You control those. Opportunities and threats are external. They're on your radar, but you don't have 100% control over those. And then we're going to talk about, I know I'm talking a lot and I hope you're taking some notes or taking this down, but I'm trying to give you as much as I can in this in the amount of time that we have and respect to all of you. So as far as developing a long-term goal, we've already defined our business. We already assessed our current state of our business. Now we're going to write a plan for 2022 based on our history, based on who we are. And now we're going to write a plan. And we're going to take that plan and we're going to put that plan into action. So here's what Summit Valley, and this is exactly the same as what's in the portfolio. Summit Valley overall business goal. The equity members at Summit Valley are saying that we need to increase our equity members net by 15% over the next 3 years. That's a goal. 3 years is a goal. Okay. Crescent Ridge, the individual owner of Crescent Ridge, that's the public course, says we need to increase total rounds by 40% over the next 3 years. So that's what they're asking. So again, so your goal now is for 2022 is how much you're going to increase. Let's start with the public golf course. So the owner says you need to increase your total rounds by 26,250, 40%. So what percent are you going to increase your total rounds by in 2022? Because you got 3 years to get to 40%. Get it? So the boss is saying, here's what I need in 3 years. I need a 40% increase. So what are you going to do in year one? On the other end, the private side, the equity boards, the board of directors are saying we need to increase our equity members by 15%. That's 304 to 345 more members. How many are you going to get the first year? So that's what this is about. You're working towards what they're telling you that they want in 3 years. That's a goal. So an objective is 1 year, a goal is 3 years, and a vision is 5+ years out. So if you could kind of just think about that, that would really, really be very, very beneficial. And then how do you do it? What are you going to do about it? So here's an example of we're going to increase our total rounds by 11% the first year. How are you going to do it? Well, we're going to begin to improve our course conditions, preferably the greens as a starter. Depends on how much money we have, but greens certainly as a start, as we all know, is the most important area to really make an impact. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and improve our media, our website, our public image. Let's get our staff. Let's get that internal culture into a loving environment. Your staff wants to be there. They're excited. They're thrilled. That's what we really want right there. Okay. And then here's one here: increase player development by $3,000. So this is certain things you want to do there. And then as far as Summit Valley goes, we're going to increase our equity members by 15 by year end. How are we going to do that? You can come up with a member referral program. You could focus on the value of the membership. So these are things that a lot of you have done some things at your facility to really stimulate some membership. So that's what it is. An objective is, what are you going to do in 2022 and how are you going to do it, basically? Okay, feel pretty good so far? Okay. As far as assumptions go, I'm going to pull that up when I pull up the financial worksheets. I think it'd be a lot better. And then monitoring performance is the fifth activity. Is the fifth activity in the business planning. And here's where you're paying attention to your business. Now that you put a plan together, now you're going to go ahead and you're going to look at each area. Is it working? Is it working based on your budget? And if it isn't, it's called a variance, right? If you have a negative variance and it's not performing to what you thought it was, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to try to make up that deficit? If you're down 12% in total rounds for the first month, what are you going to do to try to make up that deficit? Are you going to do an email blast? Are you going to do it buy 3, get the 4th one free? Are you going to try to capitalize on revenue management with your T-sheet to try to take advantage of some slow times? But just be careful you don't discount too aggressively. I don't like that word. It makes me very upset because it's hard to come back up when you discount around, and you all, many of you know that already. So just be careful with that. If you're not getting your memberships at the private facility, what's wrong? What are we doing? Is there something we could do? Can we create a corrective action to try to make it up? So that's basically what this is saying. It's a really important activity because I think monitoring performance, as well as we are on estimating our budgets, but paying attention to it and looking at the variances. And don't go to a boardroom and go to your general manager and say, "Oh, I know the rounds are off. You start muttering around. You want to be very, very proactive and very confident and look at that person. I had Herb Kohler on my board at PGA Golf Club, and Mr. Kohler would look at me, and he's a pretty intimidating dude. And I'll tell you what, I beat his butt, man, because I really got in there with a lot of confidence, and I had a really good monitoring performance in place, and I was really confident with it. So that's really, really important, okay? It really, really is. I really want to share that with you.
Bill, can you teach me that confidence around Herb Kohler and others?
It's just going in there and just really feeling good about what you've done. Really, if you're behind in one area, what have you done to try to make up? So you had 7 days of rain in August. We know that. But what have you tried to do to make up that deficit? So that's what it is. And doing it in a way that aligns with your facility, your culture, your facility, and who you are. i.e., I've done some stuff like I never really got into discounting because I just felt like I've never been successful lowering the price and getting it back up again. So I've always tried to add value. Come out, Bill Shuffaletti or one of his assistants are going to be in the bunker. Learn how to hit a bunker shot. Play between 12 and 2 and meet PGA professional, whatever, and learn how to hit a bunker shot. Or are you struggling with your 7-foot putts? Come out and PGA professional will be on the putting green, including in your round. Things like that. I don't know if a free hot dog really is attractive and people do that, but I've always tried to showcase my professionals and showcase the value that we have as the experts in the game in the business of golf. So I think just coming up with things that you feel are confident and look at the person in the eyes in a professional fashion and saying, here's what I've done to really try to make up the deficit. And sometimes you'll chew away at it. Sometimes maybe not as successful, but as long as you're paying attention to your business, that's what this activity is, period. Pay attention to your business. And I've seen a lot of my friends, not a lot, but some of my friends they do a really good job budgeting, and then they sit back and they smoke a cigar. So I got the budgeting done this year. It's not done. It's done, but now you got to watch it. You got to watch it. That's really monitoring performance.
What I might just add on
Yes.
to you there, Bill, is that confidence and that paying attention to your business. I mean, that's all going to come through preparation, right? And so, those are things that, those are kind of, how much do you care about it? And, we think that everybody on this phone call certainly obviously has a high level of care. But, just like going out for tournaments, I can't tell you how many tournaments I've gone out and shot 86 when I haven't hit any golf balls, the day before. It's all about preparation, and time management that's associated with that. But you prepare, they're going to have a level of confidence, and that level of confidence is going to be, clear and obvious, to those who you are reporting to.
Absolutely brilliant statement. Perfect. Yep, right on. Whatever you do, you prepare for tournaments. What's the most important part of your member guest? Not the day of. It's prep, isn't it? And we got people at the Ryder Cup right now 2.5 years out in advance. Kerry's ready. When it's showtime the week of Ryder Cup, I mean, everything's ready. So why not? You do the same thing with your club championships, and you got to be ready. You got to be ready to play golf if you're preparing for a tournament. It's the same exact thing. And I love the word caring. I just think that it says so much, and it's absolutely phenomenal. All right, so I think that's good. What I like to do now is I like to pull up. Let's just do the moment of truth one more time. I already kind of touched base on that just a bit, but there's two different type of moments of truth: interactive and non-interactive. Okay, interactive would be with a starter or with a person. Non-interactive will be non-person. A signage, a dirty parking lot, sugar sand, fried egg sand, just things like that. Are they positive or negative? Okay. Obviously, you want your moments of truth to be positive. And if they are negative, why are they negative? What was wrong? Which of the elements were involved that caused that negative moment of truth? Was it staffing? Was it training? Staffing? Was the system you have in place? Do you have the right staffing in place? Do you have the right fit in place? Do you have the right training in place? And then do you have the adequate amount of resources? So if you have dirty golf cars, okay, and the hose has been broken for 2 weeks and nobody replaced that hose and they forgot to buy a new hose, well, that was probably a lack of resources, right? No hose, golf cars are dirty. Maybe it's training. Maybe it's a lack of staff. So which of the three elements were involved? And I always call that the three-legged stool. If one of those three are not in order, you're going to tip over. So you got to have a really good staffing in place, meaning training and the right fit. And you all know this as well or better than I do. Get the right staff in the right spot. Put in a good system in place. The systems could fail. And if you got a good employee in a system, they can fail. So you got to make sure your systems are really adequate and they work. And then do they have the adequate amount of resources? So moments of truth are really important. I came through the Ritz-Carlton, and I learned so much about the moments of truth. Every little touch point, from the restrooms to the website to the phone to the conditioning to the welcoming, and I mean, there's hundreds of touch points from a start to finish, and you want to really be sensitive on those and be hard on it for sure, because it could be really beneficial.
Hey, Bill, I'm jumping again.
Please.
I one time heard the CEO, I believe this is the CEO of Augusta National, speak, and it's one of the more impactful or influential presentations I've heard. To that same thing that you just referenced, staffing system or resources. And I only bring this up because it may be easier to remember for those on the call. But again, this was very impactful or influential to me. But he could boil all things that happened at Augusta National down, especially the things that did not go well by their standards, all down to what they referred to as the 3 Ps, which is very much aligns with exactly what you're talking about here. And that's people, processes, or places. And so, whether it's people, do you have the right people in place? Are your processes, in other words, are your systems correct? Or places, are your resources and how you have things set up? So, that's one of those things that's kind of burned into my brain. I don't even need to review notes on that. And it's highly impactful. It's essentially the same thing that you're saying here.
Yep, love it. I mean, systems of policies and procedures. You have somebody behind the counter, and all of a sudden you get a rainstorm. The person doesn't know how to give out rain checks. You can have a superstar back there, but you never really train that person. So, it's so, I don't want to say that's more important than the other, but those 3 are just absolutely so important, and they impact your operation. When we talk about customer service, I mean, there's no reason. You don't have to have an Augusta National create the ultimate experience. You can have a dog track, but if you have a really good staffing system and resources in place that align with who you are, defining your business, your mission, absolutely. Your vision. I mean, that's what makes golf so great. We need all different type of facilities. So thanks for sharing that. That's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so before we get into actually pulling up the portfolio, I just want to take a second here and just talk about exam preparation, okay? And I mean this from my heart because I've been involved with writing some of the questions, and I can tell you how that happens. But the best way to prepare for the exam is a couple ways. Number one is all the questions are based off of the course learning outcomes via course manual. So at the beginning of business planning, there's learning outcomes. Take that learning outcome, go to the course manual, and write a paragraph of what that learning outcome says in the course manual. That is by far the best way to prepare. We also give you practice questions. There's a lot of them. And I think they're good. But again, depends on how much time you have. I would go through some of them. I don't know. I think there's 250 of them or something like that. And there's 125 questions on the exam in facility management, and there's 75 questions on teaching and coaching. They're 2 separate tests at level 1. So again, take the learning outcome, go to the course manual. Every single test question is based off of the learning outcome via course manual. We at the staff have to map the questions. Every question is monitored. We just went through monitoring performance. We have to map it where it is, what page it's on, and where it came from, which learning outcome, what page did it come from. Okay, that's key factor right there. The other thing is we don't monitor Quizlet. We get a lot of our associates saying, that's not what it said on Quizlet. We don't monitor that. So again, best way of all is to really look at the course manual via learning outcomes. Don't overanalyze the question. There's always one that's called a distractor. It may sound like, boy, that sounds like that might be the answer. I'm not sure if it's A or C. A lot of times it might be beneficial, professionals, to put your hand over the answers. It's like playing golf. If it's a 7 or 8 iron, you're confused. I don't know if I should hit 8. I don't know if I should hit 7. I don't know if I should hit 8. You go back and forth. There's always one answer that sounds like it's a 1-footer with no break. Those are the ones that just you haven't prepared for the exam. So again, look at the learning outcome, write a paragraph of what that says, watch what happens. You'll really, really do well. And then you can mess around with some of the practice questions if you want. There's no answers, obviously. You got to look them up. So depends on your style and how you test. But I've always advised a lot of our associates and students to really just cover the answer and see if it's there. And again, they're multiple choice and true and false. Okay, 125 at facility management and $75 in teaching and coaching. Does that help you out a little bit? Okay, so let's go to the final portion of it is the actual portfolio. So if you go to your education portal, okay, click on level 1 portfolio. Okay. Level 1 portfolio activities. And us at staff, we're not going to look at each activity until you submit the entire portfolio. So when your portfolio is 100% approved, that's when you turn it into us. And then we have 30 days to review the portfolio and get it back to you. Depends on the time of the year, but typically, so again, allocate your time management. 30 days, if you turn it in today, which is December 6th, you'll get it back by January 6th. And all the activities have to be passing. So if you feel insecure about a activity or two, call the mentor line. Hey, Raphael, I'm having problems with, can you just help me out with activity 3 in business planning? It's driving me crazy, whatever. And then we'll go ahead and help you with it. We can't look at every activity before you turn it in, but certainly if there's an activity or so and you have a question, that's what it's all about. Believe me, the mentor line is so powerful, and maybe it takes a little bit of guts sometimes to call, but who cares? I mean, the most important thing for education is to get a really solid portfolio turned in. And I'm telling you, we have some stories. We have people screaming in the hallway when we're all together. Say, well, I just got a great portfolio. This thing was amazing. And so again, just don't be afraid to ask those questions, okay? All right, so if you go to portfolio, so here's the activities. Then we went through the beginning of today. First activity, case study. All the activities in business planning are case study. Crescent Ridge, Summit Valley. Okay, so you know which facility you're taking on. So what you're going to do here, click on this. You're going to define the business. Okay. And there's a rubric for each one. So we expect all of you to get 3 and better. There's no reason why it should be inadequate or unacceptable. I mean, I think 4 should be pretty standard and rock the house at times when you feel better and get 5s. But that's how we control it. And here it is, defining the business. Defining your business, what are your core values, what's your vision? Remember that worksheet activity? That's and if you don't have that activity worksheet, call the mentor line and ask to get a copy of yours. I'm not sure if they'll have your exact class, but at least have an example. So I think that will really help you. So we went kind of through that already today. So there's activity 1. Okay. Activity 2 is that SWOT analysis. Okay. We have really good examples in class. We talked a lot about the SWOT analysis. Assessing the current state of our business. Here it is here. Where are you strong? What's your weaknesses? What's your opportunities? And what are your threats? And stop me at any time, okay? So that's activity 2. Activity 3 is when we're going to develop our objectives and strategies. Okay? And I'm going to pull up financial worksheet here in just a bit. Kind of show you that. So here's we're going to create. I'm going to pull up the financials in just a bit. We'll save that one for the end, okay? Okay, we're going to do financial activity. We'll do these activities together at the end. And activity 5 is monitoring performance. Here's where we're paying attention to our business. Okay, so here what we're looking for right here is, okay, key performance metrics. So based on your objectives, I would say that you're going to do something with rounds of golf, public professionals in class, and membership for private professionals in class. So what would be a key metric that you're looking for? Okay. Percent rounds, maybe percent of junior rounds, maybe percent of twilight rounds, maybe percent of member tournament rounds. How often will you track it? Okay. the tracking method would probably be point of sale. Okay. How often will you do it? Daily, weekly, monthly. So a key metric of performance would be, let's just say total rounds. Let's just use that as an example, total rounds. So total rounds would be a key metric. How are you going to track it? Point of sale. How often will you monitor your total rounds? Daily? Weekly? Monthly? Depends, but definitely probably not monthly in that case. Inventory would be monthly. What would be an acceptable tolerance range? In other words, I always say, what would be a range where you begin to freak out and put a corrective action in place? So if my total rounds at PGA Golf Club were off by 8%, and I monitor those every 5 days. If they were off by 8%, my corrective action would be, so my tolerance would be 8% off budget. You could put a dollar amount, you could put a percentage amount, or total amount. And what would I do to make up that deficit? Okay, I do an email blast. Play golf after 11 o'clock. It includes a bunker lesson, whatever it may be. It really depends on the time of the year and what I want to do to get creative. So that's what we mean by that. What are you going to pay attention to? How are you going to track it? How often are you going to do it? Pay attention. What's your acceptable tolerance before you get to say, hey, the alarm clock just rang. It's time for me to do something about it to try to make up that deficit. Okay, so that's what monitoring performance means. Any questions on this one? This is an area that we do see a weakness at times. And Kathy will chime in and actually say, this is such an important value piece to your brand and to your future. But being a great financial person, being able to really understanding budgeting, but once you get that budget is pay attention to it. It's not over. Okay, it's not over. And incidentally, I'm a real fond believer as a general manager previously at PGA Golf Club. I actually was hired to build that facility. You know, I'm a people person, and you know, I'm not in the back room looking at financials 7 hours a day. You know, I got so good at it. I'm an accounting major, and I'm not saying it's not about me, but my point here is become really good at the numbers. Now you can enjoy the guest. You know, go look at a financial sheet for 15 or 20 minutes and you get a quick little smell test on how things are going in your operation, as opposed to spending 3 hours every morning looking at numbers, another 3 hours in the afternoon looking at numbers. Well, guess what? What business are we in, right? We're in the people business, the hospitality business, the entertainment business. So that's why I've always emphasized that this generation should really become really understanding the financials. And if you can get some mentoring at your facility just to kind of get really good at it, now you can do things that are enjoyable and go out and enjoy your guests and your members and play a little bit of golf and do a little bit of teaching and play around with merchandising and just shaking hands and just being who you are. That's what it's all about. So again, okay. So there's the 5 activities, and I'll pull up the financial worksheet in just a bit. Now we get into the customer relations. The moments of truth we already talked about. Okay, is it positive or negative? Okay. Kind of hit that pretty good. And again, this is at a facility. Okay. Your facility, a friend's facility, it doesn't matter. Okay. So we're good there. So the next one is the terminology one. This is one here where you need to really, this is an important area right here. It's all terminology. And this is a really important sheet to really understand. It's figure 8 in the course manual right here. This is 65% of the exam right there. So if your desired outcome is compliance, you're always going to use the interaction strategy. These two are mirrored together. These two are mirrored together. These two are always together. If you're looking for agreement, you never use directing. They must be this way. Who has the greatest control? The employee and here's your initial interpersonal skill. For instance, TSA at an airport. They're looking for compliance. Put your shoes off. Take off your shoes. Put your belt here. Listen, man. Listen here, dude. They're looking for compliance. They're using a directing strategy. They have the most control, and they're stating their purpose clearly. Ladies and gentlemen, please go to your golf cars in 7 minutes for an 8:30 shotgun. We will be making announcements in 3 minutes. You're using a directing strategy. So again, understand this chart right here. This is really, put this chart on your wall. Look at it, study it. Again, when you're using, when you're looking for this compliance, here's your interaction strategy. And then your initial interpersonal skill is stating your purpose clearly. You can have a second interpersonal skill in this, but it's always the initial one is always across the board. Any questions on that? And all of them, you always act with integrity. That's activity 2. That's the customer relations model. Really getting getting really familiar with this particular chart right here, which is figure 8 in your course manual. Okay, and then golf car fleet. Again, tell us about your facility. Tell us about your golf cars. What are your policies? What are your procedures? What are your recommendations? Upload a daily checklist. Upload a weekly checklist. And then we did have a question earlier about the financial summary. So again, depends on if you own your golf cars or you lease your golf cars. Here's your tab right here. And again, the mentor line, if you're struggling at all with this, just call the mentor line, and a 6-minute conversation, you'll be really, really happy with the outcome. You may not have some of these answers that you're not able to get, so we can go ahead and provide you with some good averages that could be conducive and align well with your facility. So that's the golf car fleet management, your facility. Rules of golf we already talked about. Give us a cool video. Go out on the golf course. Show us something that you really want to show, and whether it's, again, penalty area options or whatever. Maybe you have a cool local rule that you want to show, and then you want to kind of talk about it in detail in activity 1A. So there's and then tournament operations. Again, it's got to be the same tournament. So activity 1, you're going to plan and prepare. You're going to run the tournament. You're going to have the conditions and rules decisions. You're going to upload any tournament information sheets, and it's all detailed in the portfolio. Rule sheets, hole location sheets, anything else, proximity markers, any local rules, anything at all. And again, it's the same tournament from start to finish. If this is going to go back, it's probably because you started a men's member guest and you finished with a ladies club championship. It's one tournament. Okay. If you already ran the tournament and you have enough documentation, that's cool. But we're asking for a lot of documentation here. Pictures of the scoreboard, pictures of the way the golf cars are set up, pictures of your check-in area, your greeting station. So again, it's an area where you can really shine, and because you all run a lot of tournaments. And then here's your career enhancement. You're going to interview a supervising professional, come up with a personal development the summary and goal, and then submit your resume. So there's your activities in the portfolio. And again, one at a time. If you have any questions on the portfolio and an activity or two, then just go ahead and reach out once again to the mentor lines, the best route to go at 866-866-3382. So what I want to do now is I'll hush for a second. Anything on your mind before we just pull up the financial worksheets? Everybody feeling okay? Great. Okay. So here's note on the bottom here is 2 tabs. Here's Crescent Ridge, the public facility. Here's the private facility. And I know you already know this, but I want to remind you, you're only doing one case study. So you want to do, are you the professional at the public course or are you the professional at the private course? You don't have to do both of them. Okay. So for instance, one of our objectives would be at the public golf course would be to increase our total rounds by 10% by year end. Let's just say that's an objective. Okay. Because again, objective is all your objectives are based off of by year end. So all your objectives are based off of year 5. These 3 columns right here is that linear trend formula. It's giving you historical data on how this particular line item has performed over the last 5 years. And in your portfolio, in the actual financials, it'll show you right here how to get that. So over the last 5 years, the total rounds at Crescent Ridge have been running 3.35% increase at a numerical change of 879, and the trend forecast is 27,129. So without doing anything, sitting on your hands, you did 26,250 rounds in year 5. Over the last 5 years, you've been averaging 27,129. So what you want to put in this area is whatever your annual objective is for the year. So let's just say it's increased total rounds by, you want to be higher than this. Why did I hire you for $75,000 as my director of golf or head professional? By doing nothing, you're trending at 27,129. So the thing that really take away here, please, professionals, this is history. This just helps you formulate your objective. So if you want to increase your total rounds by $3,000 rounds by year end, so you would put 29,250 right here. That's how it works. And then if it's good, let's just say 30,000 rounds. You're going to increase your first year to 30,000 rounds. Then make sure that these 3 columns equal 30,000. How many are you going to do on the weekdays? How many on the weekend? And how many in the tournaments? So they total up at 30,000. Same with this way. Your demographic. How many male rounds, how many women rounds, and how many junior rounds? So they equal 30,000. Okay? So again, and then what you're going to do is you're going to make assumptions off of each one of these line items. So if you're doing 30,000 rounds, how much are your guest fees? Based on weekday and weekend, the $36 on weekday, $50 on a weekend, you'd put it into here. So you're really making your assumptions. There's 4 objectives in your portfolio. So you could do, for the public course, you could do rounds, you could do merchandise, you could do tournament fees, and you could do player development. Would be 4 good examples. Let's create player development program for $3,000 by year end. You did 1,400 rounds, $1,437 in year 5. You're going to make this. This is your plan. This shaded line right here is your plan. So if you're going to make $3,000, you put $3,000 right here. Done. So that's how it's working. So whatever you tell us you're going to do, show it on paper. Okay. We've seen portfolios where I'm going to increase my golf cart rental fees, $12,000 by year end. And this number actually goes down from here. So again, just making sure everything's based off of year 5. These 3 columns right here, once again, is historical data. And for Summit Valley, you're going to create objectives again. Every line item. You can look at here's your rounds, here's your revenues, and here's your expenses. Any questions on this one? So again, when you formulate your plan, again, the key thing to remember is you're not creating your objectives off of the forecast. This stuff right here, let me back up a second. You just got the head golf professional job at Crescent Ridge. Okay. First thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your 5-year history. These are all going to be filled out. And that's going to help you formulate a plan for 2022. Oh, let's see it. We've been trending. Let's see our merchandise has been trending downward. Over the last 5 years, we did $69,410 in year 5. Over the last 5 years, we were trending almost 14% negative. So if we kept on that track, we'd be doing $60,000. And we did $69,000 in year 5. This is a really cool little area. This is a really good metric too. And I know a lot of you probably are familiar with dollars per round, but that's a big metric in my eyes as a golf professional, is what am I getting per round? Per round, per player in merchandise. Last year in year 5, I got $2.64 per round. In my range, I got 77 cents per round. So again, if you're increasing your rounds by $2,000, you could say 77 cents times $2,000. And that could be your increase if you're still maintaining that 77 cents. You don't want to go downward. Hopefully your next year won't be 50 cents per round. Your whole idea behind dollars per round is to do what? Maintain that number or increase that number. I think that makes a lot of sense to all of you. So you're just making assumptions, basically. So again, get your history first through your linear trend, formulate your objectives, and then your objectives are based off of year 5. Okay. So I'm going to open it up for any questions, anything on your mind. Anybody? Feel pretty good?
Yes, sir. Just appreciate the refreshers.
Yeah, absolutely. I said a lot, John, and I apologize. I wish I had all day to slow it up a little bit, but I want to kind of give you an overview. And you've got resources, okay? And again, just call the mentor line or any questions you have. I'll be more than happy to fire off anything to you. I'll help you out because obviously you all are very serious about this, or you wouldn't be taking the time on your busy schedule to sit here. So I think absolutely correct, for sure. Mia, do you have any comments? I remember having you in class, right? That was what.
Hi, yeah, I'm actually sitting here with Sawyer.
Oh, great.
We're both on the seminar now. Not much, I started the seminar when I was working at Plantation Preserve, which is a municipal golf course. So
Yes.
I selected to do the Crescent Ridge. And now I'm at a private facility down in Coral Gables. I'm actually neighbors with the Biltmore. I'm at Riviera Country Club. And it's just a lot. Like right now, I'm the junior coordinator. I'm the merchandiser. I run the Instagram. It's just a lot going on. So luckily we have Mondays off. So this seminar was kind of perfect. And I just plan on kind of reviewing it and, hopefully just putting an hour a day to get through the work. The only thing I really have left is the teaching and coaching part and the what we just went over, the
objectives,
business plan.
Got it. Great, fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
reach out to Kevin Compare at the mentor line for the teaching and coaching if you have any questions. And I think what you said, Mia, is so important. Just an hour a day. You're busy. You can't be unrealistic to yourself. And it's hard. So if you just chew away an hour a day, put in good quality, fresh time, and you'll work towards it. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and I am kind of like a little golf nerd. Like I love going through it again. Kind of gets me inspired to pick back up. Because the activities are fun in my eyes. Because you never know where we're gonna be next. So
that's exactly right. And you all know this, but this is not a job. This is your career.
Yeah.
Being able to get to that finish line and and be kind to yourself and lay it all out and talk to Kathy about any time management, but just manage your time. And again, you are going into season. It sounds like me, you got about 15 things on your job description.
Yeah.
So what are you not doing?
But I look forward to going to work every day. Like, I really do enjoy being in the industry. And honestly, we have 3 other people in the program down there. So I'm probably
Nice.
gonna text a few of them. Hopefully they can hop on the 5 o'clock class or even, just review it.
Absolutely.
So
we're here to help for sure. So thank you, everybody. And any other questions? Good to see everybody for sure. Royce, you feel okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. I was just kind of touching up on some areas. I just have to do the business planning and the teaching and coaching, and
Got it.
that's kind of what my goal was, 2 hours per day, just to kind of just tackle this. And also I'm looking just to meet new people, kind of just network a little. You never know who you're going to meet. PGA Associates members, just kind of just getting in the feel of things and really kind of grinding on this PGA.
That's all. And work together, everybody. Everybody in class today. I always say in class, create a Facebook deal together. You just remember, you have to do your own work. And I don't need to say that to anybody, any of you, but just work together and help each other out. Because at the end of the day, it's what it's all about. You said it so nicely, Roy. So, work together. It could be lonely sometimes. So working together and you all are, get to where you need to get to. So absolutely, for sure. Good. That's great. Super. Anybody else? Any other closing comments? Any other questions? Mia, who is in class with you at Reserve that you had? Was it
Jarrell.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
So he actually did turn in his portfolio and he passed, and he just struggled a little bit with the test.
Yeah.
So he just has to reschedule it. But we're still good, close friends. He's the GM now over at a par 3 course.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's doing really well. Just, it's crazy how we get these jobs so young in our career. And then, in order to excel, we really need to complete the process, So, and then honestly, I did want to just mention, I did take a U.S. Kids course seminar, and I am a junior coordinator down there. And that was really kind of inspiring to me, because originally I wasn't interested in teaching kids, but now I do it every day and I love it. They're hilarious. They're the future of the game. And I would suggest, if anybody has the time or is working with kids, to try to hop on that and take that. And then we are looking for a pro shop attendant. If anyone knows anyone looking to dip their feet into the industry, it's just hard to find staff right now. That's kind of where we're
bag
going
attendants.
Yeah.
Send me bag attendants. Definitely short
Bag
staff,
staff?
but we do the best we can. It's every day.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, thanks for sharing that, for sure. And absolutely, juniors are the key to all our hearts, whether you're directly with them or not. I mean, we all know how important junior golf is to us in our career and everything else. So I think industry's great. I mean, the numbers are fantastic. You all are just credit to all of you. I mean, the things we had to do to adjust of what we went through the last couple of years, that you all have accomplished that. And it's absolutely amazing. You're working so hard with less. And Mia, you just said it, the 4 or 5 things you just taken on over the last year. It's just been, and you're staying perky. And that's what it's all about, because it's all value. And at the end of the day, you're going to get rewarded for it, for sure. More experience, and Kathy will say this better than any one of us, more experience and more value you have to the employer, better it is for you, for your direct deposit, the Bank of America, to your happiness, to everything. It's all value. That's what it's about. And that's why I said at the beginning today, get in that 10% class, become the very best. You're in the position to do that now. It's not a job. This is your career. So why not be the best you could be, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that very sincerely. It's going to take you a little bit of time, get some experience, do some great networking, Royce, you said it nicely. Networking is such an important component to it. And, once you get your membership, you get involved with stuff, and just the sky's the limit. So it's good stuff.
I'm getting there. I just, I did a little at a time, and then I
Yeah.
fell off for like 2-3 months, and now I'm like, all right, grind. Let me grind.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. You'll find your pockets. You'll find your pockets when it's time to do it. But I advise you all to work together, everybody on the call today, but again, you got to do your own work, and I know you all know that, but feed off each other, help each other out. It's a big family. So,
Thank you.
all right. So anything else before we close up? I think it was a great session. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time, and it was absolutely a pleasure and honor to be with all of you for sure.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, John. All the best, everybody. Steve,
Thank you, Bill.
cheers, everybody. Good to see you.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
Cheers. See y'all.